bloody heavy basket. Bloody heavy basket.
Miss Jackson.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but I am here today to deliver some content. I'm adjusting the mic. I got a mic finally, but we'll get into that in a second. But I just want to say I missed everybody. I miss y'all. It's been a long time since I posted really anything at all, and it was kind of getting a little bit diabolical and a little bit rude that I was not being, present on this channel. So I'm glad that I am here today to give some backstory, give some thoughts. I don't know, just kind of have like some type of discussion. Let's get into it. Okay, so hey everybody. So basically, if you were on one of my last lives, I think it was, I had talked about how I just really did not feel like filming because I felt like my setup was garbage. And I mean that in the most nice way I could possibly ever mean that to myself, but did that even make sense? Anyways, it's late. But I basically have been talking about numerous times on this channel, I just felt like I didn't have a really great setup. And because I didn't have a really great setup, it just kind of made me unmotivated to film anything. I don't know. I'm the kind of person where it's yeah, and research has also research. I love when I'm nebulous like that. Anyways, but there's been a body of work that has shown that you have to kind of create the environment that you want in order to get a habit or behavior to stick. And so for me, having certain things I felt was necessary for me in order to feel like I was good to film things. So as you may notice, there's some lighting. Yeah, let me show you. So I got this light. It was pretty fairly cheap in terms of portable panel light things. And by cheap, I don't mean poor build quality. I mean inexpensive in comparison to a lot of the RGB kind of panels. So if you're looking for good lighting, I highly recommend it. It's an all metal body construction, and it comes with a stand, and then it also comes with an adapter for if you were to place it on a camera. So it comes with a lot of great things. It's really great value for your money, because there are lights like the Lume Cube that are getting up to $150, all because they have Bluetooth connectivity. Don't buy that. From what I've heard, the quality of the Bluetooth app is shaky at best. But then also it's just don't spend $150 on a small panel light. The $65, and I'll link everything down below, but the $65 one, it's giving if you are trying to make content. So yeah. But it really does great lighting, and it's RGB, so I can do I guess I could just show you. Oh, that's a little bright, but I could do this. I can do this. That's so fun, right? Right. So anyways, ooh, that's a little bright. Not me struggling. Okay. So anyways, so I can do that kind of stuff now. So that was some equipment I bought because I consistently had issues when it came to lighting in my videos. I'm not going to be out here in DaVinci Resolve trying to color correct and all that kind of stuff. I was so sick and tired of looking at my videos and looking at myself, and I was why do I look so weird? Some videos I would look hella light, other videos I would look washed out and gray and ashy because there wasn't enough light by the window I was at. So I just wanted more consistent lighting so that when I'm looking at myself, I'm why do I look like trash? So now I feel like I have that. A lot of people said to get ring lights. I hate the way the little rings look in the eyes, and also I feel like ring lights don't give that great of light. I find that the panels are much better for that. Just a tip if you're creating content. As you may have noticed, I got a mic. Let me move. I don't have a pop filter on this mic, so I want to be careful not to create any plosives because I don't want to hurt your ears. So I got a mic. I departed from the usual YouTube setup of getting a Blue Yeti mic. I listened to the sound quality on those things. They are not good. And I mean this with all love, but I'm this microphone was pretty comparable in price to the Blue Yeti, but it to me sounds significantly better, and you can hook up an instrument. It's the Samsung G-Track Pro. I think it was like somewhere around $130. But yeah, so if you're looking for a good mic, that's something I would get, especially if you're creating content, because the video can be garbage, but if the audio sounds good, like people are gonna want to listen. And I felt like before in my videos, the audio sounded, I don't know, it didn't give what it needed to give. And now I feel like the audio is giving what it needs to give. So, period. I also was thinking about getting a DSLR camera. I was getting an actual camera. And I thought about it for a while, and I was like, Niles, one, you hate DSLR cameras. Filming with the DSLR camera, first of all, most cameras have some type of 30-minute like thing around them, like time limit. My gosh. And so you're not going to be able to, if you guys have seen my videos, you know I never stay in a 30-minute time period frame, and I definitely did not want to have to like be in the middle of a thought and then have the DSLR camera cut off. I was looking at cameras like the Sony ZV-1, but a lot of people talked about overheating issues, and then a lot of other, and then like I looked at the quality of it, and it wasn't any better than just using my phone. And I don't do anything particularly camera intensive, so I was like, why am I looking at a camera? Doesn't make sense. And also I don't want to spend that money, because baby, save your money. Yeah. Sorry, that was very aggressive, but yeah, so I think those two additional items make the setup much more like better. Yeah. I just felt like before my setup was not giving, and that was like the thing that was demotivating me. And so now that like I have a better setup, I feel much better. Also, the reason I was thinking about getting the camera is because I wanted just to have one device that was storing my videos. And I realized the reason I wanted that so bad is because if you have an iPhone, right, you know good and well, if you go to the Photos app and you move things to a separate folder, it doesn't take it away from the main camera roll. So anytime I'm filming a video, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I always have tons of screenshots, tons of videos, tons of things. And so sometimes that gets jumbled in, especially like when I'm taking multiple takes of something. And so it was getting really, really, really confusing and annoying trying to get through my camera roll, sort through 1,000,001 different things, 1,000,001 different video. Like, Apple needs to get a better photo system. So I think now I have a better way of handling that, of like just I'm gonna try. We'll see if that works, but I'm gonna try to essentially put all my videos and recordings, like just airdrop it straight to my computer, if I remember, just so I can have less like clutter, because I've had multiple times where I've like deleted a clip that I actually needed because it was just jumbled in with the main camera roll, right? So like sometimes I would have a clip from yesterday that I filmed that was really good that I wanted to incorporate with the footage I filmed the next day, but then it just wouldn't work out, and then I would end up like deleting the wrong things. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. So yeah. So now I feel much better about this setup. Also, I didn't get a softbox light, like those giant lights that make diffuse lighting, because as you guys know, I'm a very minimalist person. I do not want a bunch of stuff. I don't want a bunch of stuff that takes up a bunch of space. Hate it. Don't want it. The less of whatever I can have, the better. I want solid quality things that are going to last me for years, that I don't have to repurchase. I don't want to have to do X, Y, and Z. So I feel like now, all in all, I have a great setup. So yeah. And so just to summarize, one, I got the lighting because I think it would be kind of cool to have different colored lighting when I make some of my videos in the future. And then two, I was tired of looking a hot mess because I could not, right? I love natural lighting. I'm still always going to use the natural lighting, but I even found that using an additional lighting source with natural lighting creates consistent lighting. So I figured that was something good to spend money on. And then I got the mic because, you know, there are like those mini mics you can get that are like really inexpensive, but I find they create a lot of pulses. You can get obviously the camera mics, the mics that attach to the camera, but I don't have a camera, so why would I get that kind of mic? You know, you can get like cheaper USB mics, like the mini versions, and they'll have okay sound quality, but it'll still sound like in the realm of your phone. So I was like, well, why am I paying money to have something that sounds similar to my phone? I also thought about recording off of my computer, but even when I did a test comparison between like my mic and like my computer, the computer mic still did not sound anywhere near as good as the mic. So yeah, for me, like one of the things I can't stand is poor audio content. And I noticed that like when I would film videos, because I would always be so far away from the mic, not only one, would the volume be low, but then also two, and probably more importantly, like I talk really fast sometimes, and so sometimes my words kind of blend together. And I just found that I would be like listening back to myself and the audio just was not given what needed to be gave. So with that in mind, I just want to make sure that like if people need to speed up the content because they have other things to do, like now you can hear me clearly and you should be able to do that. You know, but yeah, I think honestly, if you're like, and again, this is for all the like newer creators, I think if you're starting a channel, the most important thing you have is some quality source of light and a decent microphone, because those two things make a video so much better. And if you have a relatively new iPhone, the video quality that comes from the back camera or the front camera will be more than enough. Also, I'm so annoyed at Apple. So I wanted to record from the back camera, but I find what ends up happening is the back camera takes video in 1080p by 920, whereas the front camera will take video by 920 by 1080p. So if I take video with the back camera, when I upload to YouTube, it's in a box. If I take it with the front camera, it uploads as like a longer screen. So if anybody knows how you can get that to happen on the back camera, let me know. But I'm like, how are you going to change the resolution like that? Like Apple. Anyways, I gotta go. But yeah, let's get back to the video. I think that's it. I think that's the video. Oh, I just kind of so I guess I also wanted to talk about like reflections on YouTube. And like one of the things I was reflecting on the other day is, you know, so many people think that YouTube is easy. And as somebody who's worked a variety of jobs, like I've, you know, done many different jobs. I'm being a little bit too liberal with my photo booth use. Anyways, I just wanted to say that in the upcoming clip, I sound like I'm saying YouTube's my job, but like I'm not paid by this. So like, but like I'm basically, it's a lot of work to where if it was my job, like you'll see, you'll get it. YouTube is one of the hardest jobs ever. I'm like, this isn't even my job, but like when I had more time, I was much more, like I was actually doing much more work with like YouTube, like when it came to creating content and doing all that kind of stuff. And it is one of the most difficult jobs ever. And I say this because when you're on YouTube, it's like you're everything. Like you're the PR person, like you have to make sure that the things that you're posting and saying are not going to like make you look a hot mess in the future, right? If you're concerned about like longevity and not getting canceled, which we've had discussions about that, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, right? So you're the PR. You're also the production. So like you have to make sure that every single thing on the set is working. You're also the financial backer. So like every single thing that you buy, like it's all coming out of your pocket. Like there is no like multinational company, media company that is here to back you up. Like no, you're also like your financial person, because most like people who are starting a YouTube channel are not somebody who can hire like a personal financial assistant. You're also, if you make videos like me, you're your own researcher. And so it like takes an inane amount of time to dig through articles, read things, listen to things, read books, right? You're also the editor, right? Because most people, unless you're like a YouTuber who also has a full-time job, right? Like most people are not going to be able to like hire an editor. So, you know, you're editing all your own videos, color grading, being in charge of like fixing sound, all that kind of stuff, edits. You're also your own fact checker. So like you have to make sure that everything that you're saying is like relatively accurate. So it's just so like, I bring this up because part of the reason I also got like not demotivated with YouTube, but just not like as interested in filming things is because the amount of work that goes into synthesizing all this stuff, like you can easily spend 12 hours and like a lot in a day just to put everything together. Like that's excluding doing extra work before the video. Like you can easily spend a full day putting things together, getting all that stuff together. It's just, it's such a headache. And like a lot of people will then say, well, you just have to do this once in the week and then you're done. And it's like, no, like you have to think about the next thing you're going to talk about in a relatively quick time frame, because YouTube incentivizes people to produce more and more and more, because YouTube is not exempt from the capitalist machine. So it's going to, you know, keep asking you to produce more and more and more and more and more and not take breaks and not do that. So it's just a lot. It's just really, truly, and honestly a lot. And I really feel like a lot of people, you know, that's just my reflection on YouTube. After taking a couple months away from being on here, I just realized that like, oh, no wonder I was tired, because I was literally doing every single thing by myself. Like I was the PR, I was the videographer, I was the sound person, I was the editor, I was the fact checker. You know, I was also like always in a constant state of thinking about like, okay, what's the next video I do? Because it's so much, like, and people don't really realize that until like you actually start making videos. You're like, oh, this is actually a lot of freaking work. Like, this is not just me being like, oh my God. It's like, oh no, like even the most simplest vlogs, like people think that like the most simplest filming things, like they're not as simple as you think that they are. Like it literally, it will eat up time left, right, and center. And like, you don't even realize it. It's so much. But anyways, just putting that perspective out there, because I've thought about that a lot. When I took a step back, I was like, oh, I'm doing everything. Like there is no multinational, multi-billion-dollar company backing me. Like this is all like me having to do the whole entire like thing myself. And also it speaks to like how it's so funny, because I think in a lot of ways YouTube is like what capitalism really wants people to do. They want people to essentially be all of the things, put all of their energy, time, resources, hard work into being every single thing, and never stop doing that. And it's like when you take a step back, it's like all these YouTubers who are doing all this stuff, like no wonder they have mental health issues. No wonder the YouTubers are literally like having breakdowns, because even just doing simple posts, it's like, okay, well, what's going to get me in the algorithm? Like everything is a calculus. Like it's so much. I, as you guys know, prioritize making slow content, because I think we have to be very cognizant of the reality that like, because we live in a society that incentivizes us to constantly produce, and with that constant production, the chances of bringing in poor critique or poor analysis or just poor quality things in general rises the more we are forced to try to conform to that norm of constant production. And so I've been obviously taking my time, But I also think it's just really important to leave space for people to digest things. Maybe not 5 months, but leave enough space for people to like think things through, come to their own thoughts and opinions and conclusions about things, and not be so inundated with so many different things trying to take and steal your attention. I think that it's so important, especially nowadays, that like we make time for quiet, we make time for slowing down, because we are always trying to grow and grow and grow. But honestly, a lot of the growth that happens is when we stop growing, when we stop trying to just constantly consume and produce and create and all that kind of stuff. And when we take time to rest, like, rest is what breeds productivity. And I don't mean getting your 8 hours of sleep and then you hop right out of bed and you go straight to work. I mean having days to just sit back and just think and have joy and love and happiness in your life. So those are some thoughts. And then I guess another thing I wanted to talk about was growing on YouTube and just like general reflections on that. A lot of people have like been hoping for me to get like bigger on here, and like thank you guys for that. But also at the same time, like sometimes I just think, and I've said this on the live too, that like I don't want to get bigger, because I think sometimes what a lot of people don't see, like as you start to gain more and more subscribers, right, the pressures to not only commodify but also to make everything YouTube friendly, to produce more, to do all these kind of things starts to rise. And obviously if I'm taking anti-capitalist stances and if I'm trying to change like the culture we have around consumption, it kind of gets to the point where it's like now you can start to easily live in lots of contradiction. I don't know, like YouTubers like for Harriet, Tina Rear, right? Like YouTubers who only come when they have something to say inspire me, because it's like they've like in a lot of ways like they embody that kind of like anti-capitalist stance of like not always racing to put something out, but instead taking the time to make a good quality thing. And I kind of want to embody that. The other thing I think about a lot too is like how I want to be mindful of like if I ever do get big on YouTube, right? Like I want to be mindful of how I get there. Like it's not just about the end game, it's about the journey, right? And it's like I noticed that a lot of YouTubers, especially like leftist YouTubers, will sometimes in a lot of ways to me like run into this issue where they are commodifying, like where they are fully engaging in gore capitalism, right? Like they are commodifying death and violence and all that kind of stuff, right? Like they're constantly invoking dead people's name. We saw that with how people would constantly invoke George Floyd or Breonna Taylor's name or Ma'Khia Bryant's name. They use their pictures and thumbnails and have their name in the title. And it's like, I don't think we should be commodifying Black Death. So there's things like that I think about. I've been on YouTube for a very long time, like basically since it started. And, in that time I've seen all these trends and all these kind of things. And, I've kind of realized that like if I wanted to be a much bigger YouTuber, I could, but I kind of purposely shy away from that, like, and make these really convoluted titles. Like I think about my video that ended up getting 39K on this channel, the Ryan Trahan and family and Haley Pham video. And like I made that video and I like put in their names in the title and I put their pictures on the thumbnail, but I made the title really like convoluted. Like I did not need to say the ramifications of gentrification, but it sounded good and a little bit academic-y and a little bit like, like only like people who are really into there are gonna like know about or want to like watch that video. And that's how it was for a while. And then like that video really took off and I was like, oh God. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of things I think about when it comes to like growth and YouTube and like how am I, showing up on YouTube? Like, am I embodying the principles I say I am, right? So yeah. Okay, I think I've talked enough, and I kind of deleted my whole entire outro because I was like really tired last night. And that's the end of the video. That's the end of my reflections. I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm gonna aim to post once a month. I feel like that's a good goal. Yeah, especially for me. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you've been. Let me know how everything's going. I miss hearing from you guys. But there are exciting things coming to the channel, and I finally feel really great about the channel and where it's going. So, bye.